okay, atheists should stop calling themselves atheists and instead call themselves secularists. The reason why Christianity is not true has nothing to do with supernatural claims. There's nothing to do with the idea that God exists. The reason why Christianity is false is because Christianity is dependent on the supposed resurrection of a man who had been executed by the Roman government for the crime of secessionist conspiracy, just as Barabbas was supposed to be executed for. And obviously the resurrection did not happen, because if you grant the validity of the resurrection of Jesus of Nazareth, then you also have to grant the validity of every other religious supernatural claim that supposedly actually happened. We are not debating when we say Christianity is false. We are not debating whether or not God exists or whether or not we are in some sort of simulation. What we are debating is the historicity of the resurrection of Jesus of Nazareth. Just as when we say Mormonism is false, we are not debating any unverifiable supernatural claim. What we're debating is the historicity of the angel Gabriel and, his revelation and whatever the fuck the Mormons believe in. Because obviously Mormonism's a cult. Every Christian you talk to will say, yeah, Mormonism's a fucking cult. But they're so ignorant. They can't even see the irony of that statement. But that is why Christianity is false. The resurrection. The reason why it's false is because the belief in the resurrection is entirely dependent on you being born into the Christian culture. Nobody who was born outside of the Christian culture believes in the resurrection, because they probably were born to another culture that believes in some other ridiculous supernatural claim that happened in the past. If the resurrection of Jesus of Nazareth were a historical event, then it would be taught about by secular historians. It is not taught about by secular historians. The claim might be taught about, but the resurrection as being a historical event, like the moon landing or the Battle of Waterloo, they are not taught in that same sense. So whenever you're debating a Christian, do not debate the existence of God. That is not what the debate is about. The debate is about the historicity of the resurrection of Jesus of Nazareth. And where this ties into secularism is the reason why and here's the thing about secularism. I remember like when I was 15, I think, I was in an online debate with some dude, or it was comment section and whatever, and I said something like that, something to the effect that secularism is internationalism, and he replied to me, no, secularism simply means absence of religion, and I did not have the terminology back then to be able to explain what I meant. But why is it that secularism rejects religion? It's because religions are cultures. Religions are nations. They exist locally on a map. Unlike Pythagorean theorem, unlike pi, Christianity exists only as far as the current technology of Earth. Christianity depends on locomotion to be spread. For example, like the Christian missionaries, they had to spread it. It couldn't be discovered. Not like evolution. The fear of evolution could be discovered. Pi can be discovered. If there were an uncontacted civilization on a different space rock, they would never know about Christianity, because Christianity is local to Earth. Not even Earth as a whole, but only certain parts of Earth, as there's another competitor to Christianity, which really isn't that far off in age, that being Islam, which is about to surpass Christianity in population. And that's obviously because it's not because people are converting to Islam, it's because Muslims have a lot of kids. And you can kind of relate that back to, Islam, Christianity being viruses, and their mechanism of perpetuation is child indoctrination, or they have children. They take advantage of what Christianity and Islam do is they hijack the evolutionary protocol in human beings, that being reproduction. And they say, hey, don't reproduce so that you can perpetuate your gene line or whatever. Reproduce so you can perpetuate Islam. And that's how Islam survives. Same with Christianity, through child indoctrination, childbirth, etc. but an alien civilization on a different, like Kepler 4532, whatever the fuck, some alien Earth out there somewhere. If there were life on that Earth, if there were intelligent life, they would have no fucking idea about Christianity. If that is under the condition that they know as little about us as we do about them. But what they would know about is Pythagorean theorem. They would of course call it something else, but they would know about pi, they would know about the theory of evolution, they would know about gravity, all of these things, because these are secular, scientific, universal facts. So the reason why secularism opposes religion is the same reason why secularism opposes nationalism. Secularism opposes Christianity. The same reason secularism opposes the Dallas Cowboys, because both being a Cowboys fan and being a Christian is dependent on being born to a Cowboys family or a Christian family. If you're born to an Eagles family, you're most likely going to be an Eagles fan. Just as if you're born to a Christian family, you're most likely going to be a Christian. Secularism rejects nations. It rejects cultures because cultures are local. They're not universal. They're local. And this brings to government. The United States government was founded on secularism, meaning that our laws, what our government is based on, is not some belief. It's not based off of eye color or the Dallas Cowboys or the resurrection of Jesus of Nazareth. It is based off of universal facts, science, basic human rights, I suppose, which are also secular. The idea that slavery is bad, that all men are created equal, these are secular facts that exist everywhere. So an alien government and the U.S. government would theoretically be the same government, assuming they both were secular, because two secular governments, even if they are unaware of each other's existence, they would both be the same government. I hope that makes sense.